Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the holographic display, her heart pounding against her ribs as she decoded the Zex theory transmission. After 6 months as Earth's chief xenolinguist at the Jupiter diplomatic station, she'd learned to read between the lines of their flowery language. This message made her blood run cold. Your species requires protection. The transmission read, we offer the gift of quarantine. Protection. Quarantine. Such gentle words for what she now knew was planned extinction. The Zex theory had arrived 8 months ago, their massive crystalline ships appearing simultaneously over every major city on Earth. They came bearing gifts. Medical technology that could cure cancer, energy systems that could end pollution, and promises of membership in their galactic federation. Their tall, ethereal forms and gentle demeanor had won over most of humanity within weeks. Sarah had been one of the first to learn their language, to study their culture. She'd also been one of the first to notice the pattern. Every species the Zex theory had protected had gradually declined, their populations dwindling as their resources mysteriously diminished. The aliens didn't believe in direct violence. They considered themselves far too civilized for that. Instead, they practiced what they called merciful guidance, a slow, gentle extinction that left their victims thanking them until the very end. Computer, analyze mineral composition of the proposed containment field, Sarah commanded, her fingers flying over the holographic interface. The results confirmed her worst fears. The protective shield they planned to deploy around Earth would slowly leach essential elements from the planet's crust, all while making the human population increasingly dependent on Zex theory technology. She had to warn Earth's defense forces, but she knew the Zex theory monitored all conventional communications. Her gaze drifted to the quantum entanglement device, hidden in her office plant, a backup system she'd been developing in secret, inspired by her study of Zex theory physics texts. A soft chime announced a visitor. Through the transparent wall of her office, she saw Ambassador Xylix, the Zex theory's chief diplomatic officer, gliding toward her door. 7 feet tall, with silvery skin that seemed to shimmer with its own internal light, Xylix was the picture of alien benevolence. Sarah quickly closed the holographic displays and took a deep breath. She had practiced this moment in her mind 1,000 times. Everything depended on her ability to maintain the facade of grateful cooperation. Ambassador Xylix, she said, standing and offering the traditional Zex theory greeting. A slight bow with her palm pressed to her chest. What an unexpected honor. The alien's multifaceted eyes studied her with what seemed like genuine warmth. Dr. Chen, your dedication to understanding our culture continues to impress. We have wonderful news. The Council has approved the protection protocol for Earth ahead of schedule. The containment field will be deployed within 48 hours. Sarah's practiced smile didn't waver. Such generous protection, Ambassador. Humanity is truly fortunate to have found such caring guardians. The words tasted like ash in her mouth. Your species shows remarkable potential, Xylix said, moving to the window that overlooked Jupiter's swirling storms. With proper guidance, you may yet overcome your destructive tendencies. Sarah moved to join the ambassador, positioning herself so she could reach the quantum device behind the plant if necessary. We have much to learn from this Zex theory, she agreed. Though I admit, I'm curious about something. In my studies of your historical records, I noticed that several species under your protection seem to disappear. The Centaurians, for example. For a fraction of a second, Xylix's inner light flickered, a tell Sarah had learned to recognize as discomfort. The Centaurians chose transcendence, the ambassador said smoothly, as many species do under our guidance. Transcendence, Sarah echoed. How fascinating. I don't suppose there are any Centaurians we could speak with about their experience. Xylix turned to her, and this time the warmth in those alien eyes had hardened into something else. Dr. Chen, your curiosity is admirable, but some questions can be dangerous. For your own protection, of course. Of course, Sarah said. Protection is everything. After Xylix left, Sarah waited exactly 17 minutes, the length of time she calculated it would take the ambassador to return to the X-Theory section of the station. Then she reached for the quantum device, her fingers dancing across its surface in a precise pattern. The message she sent was brief, encoded in a way that used the X-Theory's own quantum principles against them. Shield is death. 48 hours. Initiate dark star. Across the solar system, in a hidden facility beneath the lunar surface, Commander James Rodriguez received the message. He looked at the assembled team of Earth's best scientists and special forces operators, all chosen for their unique combination of skills and their ability to think beyond conventional boundaries. "It's time," he said. "Humanity won't go quietly into that good night." Back on the diplomatic station, Sarah began systematically destroying her research while copying key elements to a secured quantum storage device. She knew the X-Theory would come for her soon. Her questions to Zilix had been too pointed, too revealing. But she also knew humanity would survive. Because what the X-Theory had never understood, in all their centuries of protecting other species, was that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their technology or their weapons. It was in their ability to recognize chains, no matter how beautifully they were disguised. As alarms began blaring throughout the station, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The X-Theory thought they were initiating a quarantine. Instead, they had just started a revolution that would reshape the galaxy. In the space around Jupiter, the massive X-Theory ships began moving into position for the containment field deployment. They never noticed the small, stealth human vessels slipping past their sensor net, carrying the seeds of resistance to the stars. The real war wouldn't be fought with weapons or ships. It would be fought with innovation, determination, and the one thing the X-Theory had never expected from their victims, the absolute refusal to accept a cage, no matter how gilded it might be. Sarah Chen had given humanity its warning. Now it was time to show the galaxy why humans were not meant to be contained. Commander James Rodriguez stood in the heart of Project Nightshade, a vast underground complex beneath the lunar surface. Through reinforced windows, he watched scientists work on what appeared to be fragments of X-Theory technology, their movements careful and precise in the artificial gravity. 6 months had passed since Dr. Chen's warning. 6 months since the X-Theory had deployed their protective shield around Earth, believing they had contained humanity's threat to their orderly galaxy. 6 months of careful planning, hidden progress, and silent resistance. "Commander," Dr. Maya Patel called from her workstation, her voice tight with excitement. "I think we've cracked it." Rodriguez crossed the laboratory in long strides, his movements efficient despite the low gravity. Maya's holographic display showed a complex matrix of energy patterns, the underlying structure of the X-Theory containment field. "Show me," he said, leaning over her shoulder. Maya's fingers danced across the controls, highlighting specific patterns within the matrix. The X-Theory field isn't just a barrier. It's a massive data collection network. Every time they adjust it, they're gathering information about our responses, our technology, our adaptations. They're studying us while they slowly drain our resources. Like scientists observing lab rats. Rodriguez muttered. "Yes, but that's their weakness." Maya's dark eyes sparkled. "They're so focused on collecting data that they've made their network bidirectional. We can feed false information back through their own field." In the corner of the lab, Dr. Marcus Wong looked up from his quantum computer array. "Better than that," he added. "We can use their own network to distribute our countermeasures. Every adjustment they make to strengthen the field will actually help spread our resistance technology." Rodriguez allowed himself a small smile. "The first in months." "How soon?" 2 weeks to finalize the programming," Maya said. "Another week to distribute the quantum triggers to our hidden facilities. After that," she shrugged, "the X-Theory won't know what hit them until it's too late." The commander nodded, his mind already racing through contingencies. Above them, visible through the lunar facility's crystalline ceiling, Earth hung in space like a jewel in a net of silvery energy. the Zextheri containment field that was supposed to be humanity's elegant prison. Status report from the colonies, he asked, turning to communications officer Sarah Martinez. Martinez consulted her quantum-linked tablet. Alpha through Delta bases are fully operational. The Zextheri still haven't detected our deep space installations. Project Genesis is proceeding ahead of schedule. We'll have self-sustaining populations off-world within 3 months. It had been humanity's greatest gambit, using the very moment of their supposed containment to launch hundreds of stealth ships, carrying the seeds of human civilization to the stars. While the Zextheri watched Earth, humanity was quietly establishing hidden colonies throughout nearby star systems. And the field's effects on Earth? Rodriguez asked, though he already knew the answer. He made himself review the data daily, burning the cost of their resistance into his memory. Resource depletion is accelerating, Martinez reported grimly. The Zextheri shield is breaking down complex minerals faster than we predicted. Global temperatures have risen 2 degrees from the energy interference. We're looking at severe environmental impacts within 8 months if we don't act. Rodriguez's jaw tightened. The Zextheri version of mercy was to make their extinction comfortable, to let humanity fade away slowly enough that they wouldn't even realize they were dying until it was too late. "Show me the latest from the surface," he commanded. The main holographic display sprang to life, showing feeds from major cities around the world. To most humans going about their daily lives, nothing seemed amiss. The Zextheri provided free energy, miraculous medical care, and solutions to pollution and climate change. Their silvery ships had become a common sight in Earth's skies, accepted as benevolent guardians. Only a few knew the truth, that each gift from the aliens came with hidden costs, each solution creating dependencies that would ultimately prove fatal to human civilization. "Commander," a new voice called. Dr. Chen's image appeared on a secure quantum channel, transmitted from her hidden location after her escape from the Jupiter diplomatic station. "The Zextheri are planning something big. Their council just approved what they're calling the final integration protocol." Rodriguez felt a chill despite the climate-controlled environment. Timeline: 3 months, Sarah reported. "They're moving faster than usual. I think they know something's wrong, even if they haven't figured out what yet. They feel their control slipping," Rodriguez mused. "So they're accelerating their plans." He turned to his assembled team. "Then we move faster. Maya, you have 1 week to finish the countermeasure programming. Marcus, I need the quantum distribution network ready in 3 days. Martinez, alert all colonies to prepare for Phase 2. "Sir," Martinez said hesitantly, "if we move this quickly, we risk exposure. The Zextheri might detect." The Zextheri designed their entire containment system around their belief that they understand humanity, Rodriguez interrupted. "They think they know exactly how we'll react, how we'll develop, how we'll try to resist. Their greatest weakness is their conviction that they're smarter than us." He walked to the window again, watching Earth's imprisoned form. "They expect us to either accept their protection gratefully or to rage against it violently. They're prepared for both responses. What they don't expect," he smiled grimly, "what they can never expect, is for us to turn their own mercy into a weapon." In her quantum transmission, Sarah's image nodded. "They don't understand that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our determination. It's our ability to adapt, to take what's meant to cage us, and turn it into a key." "Exactly," Rodriguez said. "They think they're watching us through their containment field. Fine. Let's give them a show they'll never forget." As the team dispersed to their tasks, Rodriguez remained at the window, watching the Earth shimmer behind its alien prison. In all their centuries of protecting other species, the Zextheri had never encountered one that refused to play by their rules. They saw humanity as just another specimen to be studied and guided into peaceful extinction. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. In labs throughout the lunar facility, humanity's best minds worked tirelessly, turning the Zextheri's own networks against them. In hidden colonies across nearby star systems, new generations of humans were being born free of alien influence. And in the quantum networks that the Zextheri thought were gathering data on their subjects, a revolution was spreading at the speed of light. The aliens had offered humanity a choice between comfortable extinction and violent resistance. Instead, humanity had chosen a third path, one that would shake the foundations of the galaxy. As Rodriguez reviewed the final preparations for their counterattack, he remembered something Dr. Chen had said in her first warning. The real war won't be fought with weapons or ships. It will be fought with innovation, determination, and the absolute refusal to accept a cage, no matter how gilded it might be. The Zextheri were about to learn exactly what that meant. High Counselor Xyra of the Zextheri Protectorate stood before the Emergency Council, her silvery form dimming with concern as she presented the latest data from Earth. The Grand Chamber, with its crystalline architecture and floating holographic displays, had never felt more oppressive. Impossible! Council member Vex interrupted, his internal luminescence flashing with agitation. The containment field is perfect. We've used this protocol for millennia. No species has ever. The humans have not only survived. Xyra continued, her voice steady despite her growing unease. They have adapted. Our field's resource extraction rate has decreased by 60% in the last month alone. Somehow, they're regenerating complex minerals faster than we can break them down. The holographic display showed Earth, but something was different. The containment field's signature had changed, showing patterns that none of the council members had ever seen before. It was as if the humans had somehow altered the fundamental nature of the technology that was supposed to be their prison. In that moment, alarms began blaring throughout the chamber. Emergency reports flooded in from monitoring stations across the galaxy. Council member Xylith, responsible for deep space surveillance, rushed to interpret the data. We're detecting human signatures, Xylith announced, her voice trembling. Not just on Earth. They're everywhere. Dozens of colonies, hidden in asteroid belts, on moons, in artificial habitats. They've spread beyond the containment field. The council chamber erupted in chaos. This had never happened before. Every other species they'd protected had followed the same pattern: gradual decline, increasing dependency, and eventually, peaceful extinction. The humans were supposed to be contained, studied, and guided to the same fate. On Earth, Dr. Maya Patel stood in Times Square, watching as the sky above New York changed. The silvery sheen of the containment field began to ripple with new colors, blues, greens, and golds, as humanity's modifications to the alien technology became visible for the first time. Her quantum communicator chimed with a message from Commander Rodriguez. Phase 3 initiated. Show them what we can do. Maya smiled and activated her tablet. Across the planet, hidden quantum transmitters began broadcasting the signal they'd spent months perfecting. The Zextheri containment field, designed to slowly strangle Earth's resources, transformed into something entirely new. In the lunar facility, Commander Rodriguez watched the transformation with satisfaction. Status report, he called out. The field's energy matrix has been completely converted, Marcus reported from his station. Instead of extracting resources, it's now amplifying Earth's natural regeneration processes. The Zextheri just lost their main weapon against us. Sarah Chen's image appeared on the quantum display, her expression triumphant. The Zextheri Council is in complete disarray. They've never encountered a species that could not only resist their protection, but actually turn it into an advantage. Rodriguez nodded. And our colonies. All reporting ready, Martins confirmed. The hidden settlements on Mars, Europa, and throughout the asteroid belt are revealing themselves. The deep space colonies are signaling their presence. We're showing the Zextheri that humanity isn't just surviving. We're thriving. In orbit around Earth, the massive Zextheri ships that had maintained the containment field for months suddenly found themselves locked out of their own systems. The field they had created to be humanity's prison now responded only to human commands. Back in the council chamber, High Counselor Xira received an unexpected transmission. The holographic image of Dr. Sarah Chen appeared before the assembled council. "Honorable Council," Sarah began, her voice carrying no trace of fear or submission. "Humanity thanks you for your protection. Your containment field has proven to be an excellent teaching tool. We've learned so much about your technology, your methods, and most importantly, about ourselves." "This is unprecedented," Council Member Vex sputtered. "No species has ever." "That's precisely the problem," Sarah interrupted. "You've spent so long believing in your superiority that you never considered the possibility that other species might have strengths you don't understand. Humanity doesn't need your protection. We never did." The holographic display expanded, showing the full extent of human expansion throughout nearby star systems. While the Zextheri had focused on containing Earth, humanity had been quietly building a civilization among the stars. "But we are willing to offer you something," Sarah continued. "A chance to learn from us, just as we've learned from you. A chance to understand why your way of protecting species is fundamentally flawed." In the lunar facility, Rodriguez watched the transmission with his team. "Deploy the Genesis protocol," he ordered. Across Earth and throughout human space, new technology activated. Technology that combined human innovation with adapted Zextheri principles. The containment field that had been meant to drain Earth now powered a planetary renewal system, accelerating the recovery of damaged ecosystems. "You see," Sarah explained to the stunned council, "humanity's strength isn't in our ability to destroy or dominate. It's in our ability to adapt, to transform, to take what would kill us and turn it into something that helps us grow. You offered us extinction, disguised as protection. We're offering you genuine cooperation, disguised as defeat." The Zextheri Council watched in astonishment as human ships emerged from hiding throughout their space. Not warships, but research vessels, exploration craft, and diplomatic shuttles. Humanity had used the months of supposed containment to prepare not for war, but for coexistence on their own terms. High Counselor Xira, looking at the data showing humanity's true achievements, felt something she hadn't experienced in centuries: uncertainty. The humans hadn't just survived their containment, they had transformed it into an opportunity for unprecedented growth. "You have a choice," Sarah concluded. "Continue believing in your superiority and face a future where more and more species resist your protection, or join us in building something new. The galaxy is vast enough for many kinds of civilization. The question is, are you evolved enough to accept that?" As the transmission ended, the Zextheri Council faced a reality they had never anticipated. The species they had tried to slowly extinguish had instead shown them a fundamental truth. True strength lies not in the power to contain and control, but in the ability to adapt, grow, and transform. The awakening wasn't just humanity's. It was the beginning of a transformation that would reshape the galaxy itself. The United Earth Council chamber was packed to capacity. Representatives from every human colony, both the formerly hidden and the newly established, had gathered to decide the fate of their relationship with the Zextheri. The tension in the room was palpable. Commander Rodriguez stood at the podium, his expression grave. "The Mercy Protocol is not about forgiveness," he began, his voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. "It's about breaking the cycle of dominance and submission that has plagued this galaxy for millennia." Murmurs rippled through the assembled delegates. On the massive screens behind him, data scrolled showing the extent of what humanity had discovered. Dozens of species the Zextheri had protected into extinction, centuries of calculated manipulation, all done with the unwavering belief that they were bringing order to chaos. The easy path would be retaliation, Rodriguez continued. "We have their technology now. We could turn their own methods against them, contain them as they tried to contain us. Many would say they deserve it." Dr. Sarah Chen, now Earth's chief sinological advisor, stepped forward. "But that would make us no better than them." The Mercy Protocol isn't about what the Zextheri deserve. It's about who we choose to be as a species. The holographic displays shifted, showing the transformed Earth containment field, now a shimmering network of energy that enhanced rather than depleted the planet's resources. Alongside it, images of the new joint human-Zextheri research facilities appeared, places where both species could learn from each other. We've received transmissions from 17 previously unknown species, Sarah reported. Species that have been hiding from the Zextheri for centuries, watching their protection protocol destroy civilization after civilization. They're all watching what we do next. Dr. Maya Patel took the floor, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. The Mercy Protocol has 3 phases. First, we share our adaptations of Zextheri technology, not as weapons or tools of control, but as means of genuine advancement. Second, we establish joint colonies where both species work together as equals. And third, she paused, knowing this would be the most controversial part. We help the Zextheri understand why their way of thinking has led them to stagnation. The chamber erupted in debate. Some delegates argued passionately that the Zextheri couldn't be trusted, that they would never truly change. Others pointed out that showing mercy from a position of strength could reshape galactic civilization. In orbit above Earth, High Counselor Xira watched the proceedings from the diplomatic vessel she'd been permitted to bring into human space. The past weeks had shaken her species to its core. The humans hadn't just defeated their containment technology, they'd improved it. Where the Zextheri saw only tools of control, humanity had found opportunities for growth. Your people are surprising, she transmitted to the chamber. We offered you protection, believing we knew what was best for your development. Instead, you have shown us that our own development has been stagnant for centuries. Rodriguez nodded to Sarah, who activated the next phase of their presentation. The galaxy is changing, she announced. The age of single-species dominance is ending. We stand at a crossroads. We can either repeat the cycles of the past, or we can build something new. The displays showed simulations of what cooperation between humans and Zextheri could achieve. Terraforming technologies that could restore dead worlds to life, energy systems that could power civilization without destruction, medical advances that could benefit all species. But it has to be genuine, Rodriguez stressed. The Mercy Protocol isn't about forgetting what was done to us. It's about choosing a different path forward. We're offering the Zextheri a chance not just to coexist with us, but to evolve beyond what they've been. In her ship, Kyra felt something she hadn't experienced in centuries: hope. The humans' offer of mercy wasn't weak or naive. It was a challenge, a demand that her species rise above its ancient patterns and grow into something new. There will be resistance, Sarah acknowledged, both among humans and Zextheri. Change is never easy, especially for a species that has believed in its own superiority for so long. But we've already seen the first signs of transformation. The screens showed images from the joint research facilities. Young Zextheri scientists working alongside humans, learning to question their assumptions, discovering the joy of genuine collaboration rather than control. It was a small beginning, but a significant one. We stand at a moment of choice, Rodriguez concluded. We can use our victory to punish, to dominate, to prove we're no different from those who try to contain us. Or we can show the galaxy that humanity's greatest strength isn't our ability to resist control. It's our capacity to imagine and build a better way. The vote that followed wasn't unanimous, but it was decisive. The Mercy Protocol would be implemented, offering the Zextheri a path to genuine partnership rather than the punishment many believed they deserved. As the council session ended, Sarah found Rodriguez staring out at the Earth below, its protective field now a symbol of transformation rather than containment. You know this won't be easy, she said quietly. Some of them will never accept change. Rodriguez nodded. That's why it's called the Mercy Protocol, not the Trust Protocol. We're not naive enough to think centuries of ingrained behavior will change overnight, but we're strong enough now to take the risk, to show them to show everyone that there's another way. Above them, the first joint human-Zextheri expedition was preparing to depart, heading for the edge of known space. They would seek out the species that had hidden from Zextheri protection, offering them not dominance or submission, but genuine alliance. The age of protection was over. The age of cooperation was beginning, bought not with violence or vengeance, but with the price of mercy.